Hi everyone, my name is Jeff Copeland and I'd like to welcome you to Jeff's Nonsport Card Universe. I'm a lifelong collector of sports cards and collectibles, but in the area of collectibles, non-sport cards are actually my favorite and my true passion. My collection ranges from the late 1800s all the way up to the present, and I'd like to share with you through a series of videos a little bit about the history of non-sport cards, the evolution of them, and showcase some of my favorite sets. Before we get rolling today, however, I'd like to give a big shout out to John Mangini. If you have not seen John's videos on YouTube, they are an absolute must. John has an absolutely first-rate collection. He's a wonderful guy. And his videos are a true treasure to watch, and he is actually one of the true treasures of the hobby today. So thank you, John. You do a wonderful job, and thanks for the inspiration. I'm going to do the alternate universe here of non-sport cards now as well. And the first one we'll talk about is going to be my favorite non-sport card set of all times, the 1961 Fleer Pirates Bold set. Now, in 1961, two things happened that really shaped the non-sport collecting world. The first was Walt Disney Studios produced the Swiss Family Robinson movie. In that movie is one of the greatest pirate fight scenes of all times. It was so good, it inspired my friends and I to play pirate, have sword fights for months after we saw the movie. Sticks, broomsticks, whatever we could find were our swords. And more than one time, I can tell you, our mothers yelled out the doors, "Stop that or you're gonna poke somebody's eye out." And maybe some of you heard the same thing. Then in the fall, Fleer Incorporated released their Pirates Bold set. We were so ready and fired up, we couldn't wait to plunk down our nickels and rip open the packs and take a look at what we found inside. And here's what we found inside. There are 66 cards in the set. However, there are only 33 pirates. Each pirate has 2 cards. The first 33 cards in the set look like this one of Pirate Dave Henderson. They typically have an oval on one side, which shows a very interesting image of the pirate, then an action shot in bold color over on the other side to balance it out. They're actually quite beautiful cards. Then the next 33 cards in the set, all the way up to 66, are the action shots that go with each one of the pirates. Now, whether it is the first 33 or the second 33, they all have the same backs. The backs have biographical information about the pirates, sometimes historically accurate, sometimes not, and maps that show where they plied their trade, where they got their plunder and their booty. In some cases, the maps also show where they buried their treasure, something that fascinated us incredibly when I was a little boy. Now, I'm going to show you some of my favorite cards from this set. First, we have Blackbeard the Pirate, and in our pirate games, we fought over who could be Blackbeard. After all, he was one of the fiercest of all times. This is one of my favorite cards in the set. This is Raoul Laval. You'll notice here that he is being bitten by a rattlesnake as he's trying to bury his treasure. We lived in a region where there were quite a few rattlesnakes, so we were always worried about this. This is William Kidd, Captain Kidd, one of the all-time pirates, and we always fought to play him as well. Notice he is also burying his pirate treasure in this card too. This is Rock Brasiliano. It's another beautiful card in the set. It shows him touching off a cannon to shoot at a ship he's trying to board. This is another of my favorites, Juan de la Corte. Notice the flames licking up at his feet. This is pretty nice. This is Charles Vane. Charles Vane shows up in a lot of pirate movies today. He's rather rotund in the image here. He's usually shown as virile and somewhat of a hottie in today's movies. Another of my favorites, Bartholomew Roberts. Notice he's making one of his captives walk the plank to sharks that are waiting to eat him alive. Now, a couple of other things about this set. When we were kids, girls were icky. They had cooties. We didn't want anything to do with them. So when we opened some packs, we found out there were 2 women in the Pirates Bold set. The first was Anne Bonny. Anne Bonny is something of a legend in collecting this set because no one could get her card when these were issued. There were rumors that perhaps Flair held this card back in an effort to get kids to plunk down more nickels to finish their sets. We didn't see one in the neighborhood until Jerry Donahue got one, and he was the envy of all of us. The other woman in the set, Mary Read. Mary Read, according to her biography, dressed up as a man in order to get aboard ship and get on the high seas. As a matter of fact, it says the same thing about Anne Bonny. We wanted nothing to do with these cards. We put them on our bicycle spokes. We played flipping games with them. And as a result, they're very difficult to find today, and they typically command a premium when one is putting together the set. Another thing about this set, they are very, very difficult to find centered. Cutting these off of the print sheets was a serious problem at the time. So if you're going to put together this set, that's going to be the challenge. It took me almost 5 years to get a set that I thought was exactly what I was looking for. Now, I'm sure you noticed that a lot of my cards are graded. A lot of them are not. Some are great condition, some of them are not. To me, it's more the history and the thrill of the chase that drives me in my collections. So as you watch my videos, you'll see a full range of them out there as well. Okay, one more thing about the Pirates Bold set. Some people consider 1 through 33 to be a set in and of itself. Here is the first card of Jean Lafitte. Notice that it is very attractive. It's a very pretty card. The oval in the portrait is very nice. You'll notice in his action shot, not so good. Artistic quality falls way off. So some do collect the first 33 and don't the rest. I should also mention that there was an insert with these cards, Flags of the Spanish Main, and I'll do a separate video on those soon as well. We didn't know what to do with them. They were attractive. They represented the different nations the pirates used for their flags, but they were a little bit different, so we didn't really know what to do with them. This is a very interesting set, also because, I hate to say this, some of the pirates were made up. Here's one of my favorite cards of all time in non-sport realm. This is the Chinese pirate Lai Fong. I can tell you, after careful research at the National Archives of Canada, the Library of Congress, the National Archives of England, talking to pirate experts, no such pirate existed as Lai Fong. Here's another made-up guy, Rufus Trench. Notice in this particular card, he's hanging one of his captives. This is a pretty gruesome set. All right, so think about this. When we were kids, we dreamt of finding pirate treasure. Well, how about today? We go to flea markets, we go to garage sales, we go to other places. We're always looking for that elusive treasure. Maybe cards in an attic, like you read about once in a while. So I guess in some cases, we never really grow up. And this is one of the reasons the Pirates Bold card set is so dear to me. It's representing my childhood, but it's also a dream that we all still have. Well, I hope you enjoyed this information about the Pirates Bold set. More videos will follow shortly. In the meantime, everybody, enjoy your cards. Have fun.